Yes, good morning, my viewers all over the world. This is 360 TV here with me is that very man, the Biafra evangelist, Evangelist Benjamin Ezesinachi, the only Biafra evangelist that speaks the truth and ready to end by the truth. Good morning, Biafra
That is
evangelist.
natural. Good morning.
All right, quickly, let me have your reaction concerning what the coalition of Northerners group said that Peter Obi, other Igbo leaders pleading for the release of Nnamdi Kanu are terrorists and must be held responsible. So let me have your reaction on that.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
First and foremost, is Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist?
That is where I want to start. It's IPOB because if you say Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you are like, IPOB, is he actually a terrorist? That is the
Because I don't
question.
know why would I say that
I,
anybody pleading for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu must be held as a terrorist.
IPOB is not a terrorist, neither is their leader a terrorist. Because when you name a group or organization, whatever you may call it, a terrorist, that means it is the leader that is the terrorist, the one that organizes it. And if you take a look at the whole thing, what is playing now, you discover that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist and he has never participated in anyone. And he can never be. And let me tell you, in case you forget, do you know currently now that the British are giving IPOB members asylum? And if they can openly, this is the second time they are doing that. If they can openly give IPOB asylum, definitely we are not terrorists. Because a country like a British can never welcome terrorist group in their country.
So what do you think make the Northern Coalition group to make that very ugly statement?
This statement,
They even
which
mentioned Peter Obi.
yes, because anybody that said, they said anybody asking
Yes.
for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When they say it, don't you see all those Fulani imposed governors
Okay, does it
in
mean
the
that
east? Those ones are they
the
asking for the Fulanis?
Afenifere that also demanded for the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu? Are they also a terrorist?
I am coming, my
The
brother.
Ones Ndibo, are they also a terrorist?
I don't know.
The Benjamin
Carlo,
Kalu.
is he a terrorist? I don't understand. So the thing remains, it is not their fault, but it is the fault of Ohanese, who's supposed to stand to speak for their people. They are there collecting bribe, supporting evil. It is not their fault. It is the fault of the governors in the east, who's supposed to stand up to do the needful. But they are there being fooled. I don't blame them. That's why they come out to say Obi. Is there any northern person, the Fulani person, that is more educated than Peter Obi? Is there any northern person that is more enlightened than any other person in the eastern region? One stupid elder Fulani man said that it is the poor Igbos that are asking for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. And I asked him, I replied to him yesterday, now, Oga, you are a fool. How many Igbo children do you see that goes out and beg for food? How many of their children did you see on the streets of Nigeria begging for survival, begging for food? You say they are poor. You that is rich, your children is outside begging for food. Me and you, who better? And you open your dirty mouth. I don't know whether you don't see all these planet teeth. They know they brush mouth. The only person where gay house go know how to do clean up. They look at them, see, then just watch them. You understand? You have the audacity to talk when I'm talking. You have audacity to refer me. Do you know the meaning of terrorist? Do you know the meaning of terrorist? Because they are allowed in this country, you that is a total stranger, then you have the guts to call me a terrorist. You have the guts to come and say Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. Who gave you the impetus to do that? Because Nigeria is a country that have admitted as a terrorist country and they welcome terrorists. That is why you people are messing up. Because if it is a country, look at what has happened against Igbos Musa and his cabinet. Don't you see the mess? They have messed them up because of what? This kind of things that is going on in the country. You cannot invite somebody like Igbos Musa and turn him down. Do you know what that means? It is a total mess of a
Now that I
nation.
mentioned CDS Musa, Canadian officials denying him, Canadian embassy
Embassy.
denying him visa. And the National Security Advisor,
Rebadu.
Ribadu, said that is disrespectful, and the Canadian does not have any right to deny CDS Musa visa. Now,
Point of correction, they have rights.
Evangelist Ben, do you think that CDS Musa is a superhuman being that shouldn't be denying visa? First and foremost, the Canadian have every right to choose who should enter their country and who should exit. Now that CDS Musa says is disrespectful to whom? Is this to CDS Musa or to the Canadian or to Nigeria?
Listen to me. The denial of visa of CDS Musa and his crew is not only a shame or national disgrace. You understand? It is a national disgrace to Nigeria and to CDS Musa personalities. You understand? And the Badu now saying to her with Canada. You are saying to her to Canada. What did the Canada stand to lose? It's you that stand to lose many things. How many Canadians do you see that go to church and share testimony, say they get Nigerian visa? How many of them? Go and check. They don't share any testimony. But go to churches in Nigeria here. Anybody that have visa to Canada, the whole entire family will celebrate it special. Do you know why? They believe that hope has entered, light has come into the family. That is what it means. Because they believe that there is more hope and there is light there than here in Nigeria. So if Nigeria know what they are doing, it is the high time the federal government should sit down and know where they start to beat them. Canada doesn't have anything to. How many times have you seen Canada chief of staff or Canada citizen, praying that when he's sick, he will be praying to God or telling his parents that he want to come to Nigeria for medical treatment. When you see Nigerians here, your president is going to Canada for treatment, medical treatment. Is that not a mess? So they stand to lose nothing. Now Nigeria, they lose. Now shame to Nigeria. So CDS Musa and Nigeria should go and lie low, Jare. They no get level. That is what the Canada embassy has shown to them. And many more nations are coming. This is just a tip of what is before Nigeria. Because Nigeria is a nation that regard animal rather than human being. It's a nation that they not respect human rights. They don't respect human beings. They don't respect people. They don't respect people's rights. And they don't value people's opinion. Look at it. It's only in Nigeria you see people protesting, the citizens protesting, using their own medium to air their own feelings. Then the government will now set the mercenaries and other ones. The security personnel that are supposed to guide the rally, the protest. You use them against the protesters, even kill them and arrest some, and take them to prison and tag them and charge them for call them terrorism and tag them for treason. People of age of 8 years, 9 years that they want to take over your government. Imagine that. A nation that have something upset. Have you ever seen them doing this? In America, in Israel, there are protests. In France, even in England, nakedness, you see men, you see women going naked on the street in terms of protest. Just because of increase of bread in France.
All right, Biafra Evangelist, is a very fine place to live it. All right, viewers all over the world. This is KC360 TV. Here with me is Mr. Chinedu. Mr. Chinedu, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Chinedu, quick one. Let me have your reaction concerning what the Northern Coalition Group said that Peter Obi and all the Igbo leaders calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu are terrorists. So, do you believe or do you think what the Northern Coalition Group said is true? Let me have your reaction on that.
They are the real terrorists. The Northerners are the terrorists of this country. The Northerners have been in a position of power for over 50 decades now. Nigeria has never moved forward. The Northerners themselves are the bread, and the brain behind insurgency in Nigeria. The genesis of killings it started from the North. The North has decimated Nigeria. The North has killed over 7 million Nigerians unprovoked. The Northerners and their governors and their leaders has laid siege, held Nigeria hostage by Boko Haram, sponsored, powered by the Northerners, to fulfill whatever stupid and useless understanding they have about a conquest. That's the essence of it. And in resistance to such plan and decision, that was what gave birth to the glamour and advocacy of the people of Biafra. As simple as that. Yeah, I can take you back the memory lane when the issue of killing started in Nigeria. The first mass killing pogrom that was carried out against another ethnic nationality took place in 1953 in Nigeria. That was the beginning of it. And it happened in the North. The North has been a center of demonic gathering to disalive as many as, just because they want to engage themselves in what they don't even know how it came about. So the people that stood against such illegality, absurd, archaic way of living, are the ones just in a situation where the kettle is calling another black. The word.
And they also asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to release Nnamdi Kanu, because even the out of terrorism, they accused Nnamdi Kanu of. They also said that Nnamdi Kanu displayed that during the Justice Binta Nyanyaku, that indeed the attitude and the characters of Nnamdi Kanu that he displayed during the before Justice Binta Nyanyaku really confirmed that yes, Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist.
Confrontational, 100% celebrated all over the world. Nnamdi Kanu was confrontational because the whole judges in Nigeria have refused to, get even close to his case. So they have to push it back to Binta Nyanyaku, which is automatically, in all ramification, illegal.
What do you think that made the other justice to refuse to attend to?
Because there is no jurisdiction, there is no way Nnamdi Kanu can be nailed under the constitution, present constitution of Nigeria. There's no how Nnamdi Kanu can be nailed in Nigeria under any form of law, both national and international, and they know that very clearly. They are finding it difficult, but Nnamdi Kanu is holding Nigeria down. And of course, Nnamdi Kanu has cleverly come to understand that where he is as Nigeria, as a nation, is nothing but an occultic shrine, and he cannot bow to a setting like that. As simple as that. What you saw, the outburst of Nnamdi Kanu has been celebrated all over the world to mean bravery against all odds. That is what it is, and that's what it has become, and that is the reaction you are seeing from different international communities, world recognized agencies, EU nations, international leaders, tightening up the news more against Nigeria. You can see the embarrassment that was being Christopher Musa. I think it's just ordinary. It's not ordinary. These are people who has buried themselves in inhuman
What do you think will make the Canadian government to deny General Christopher Musa the visa? Because the National Security Advisor also said that is disrespectful by the Canadian embassy to deny CDS Christopher Musa visa. What do you think really happened that Canadian denying visa?
I think basically it has to do with the struggle, of the IPOB leaders all over the world, ranging from Simon Ekpa, Dr. Ngozi Orebeze, and of course, the able man himself, the man of the moment, talking about Nnamdi Kanu, the Pan-Africanist, the lion of the moment. He is a threat to any oppression, and he has continued to be a threat, to any oppression, to anybody that's against humanity, to anybody that is against existence of what God has ordained and created for humanity. You see, it's unfortunate that Christopher Musa, has been made an scapegoat and has made an embarrassment, of that at that level. It shows that, one, the human rights organization and agencies attached to the United Nations conventions, yesterday reviewed the Nigeria quest against the Igbo people, against the IPOB, against the killings of Christians in Nigeria, and they found out that the entire military hierarchy, has compromised. And secondly, it was proven that there is also massive corruption and allegation of misappropriation of Nigerian public fund under the watch of Tinubu's government, especially in the military. And as a result of that, they took that decision based on how they have been able to reassess the issue of human rights abuse, given what transpired recently in the court where Nnamdi Kanu was involved, and the killings of innocent people. And they have come to a conclusion that it is high time the international what you are seeing that it's not about Canada. This is a global agenda to make sure that Nigeria is being scrutinized to the level of putting them where they belong. These people you are seeing, they are not leaders. And it has also been discovered that there's a lot of misappropriation, looting, transactions that were maybe possibly going to Canada to carry out at the end of the day before they receive, a striking blow on the hierarchy of this unfortunate government.
What will you say about the response of the national security advisor?
Let me tell you,
that it is respectful to Nigeria government.
No, it's Nigeria intelligence advisor to the national intelligence advisor to the president, Badu. He's just playing to the gallery. They're trying to defend whatever government that he is championing. And remember that some time ago, somewhere along the line, the same Ribado attacked Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one of the worst corrupt governors in Nigeria. But look at him now, coming out. It's like the Canadian government have looked at it from all perspectives and have discovered that this government is filled with people whose hands, left and right, are not clear. And remember, yesterday, a British judge granted asylum to IPOB. But in Nigeria, IPOB is a terrorist organization. You can see the level of bias in everything. And this thing has taken international dimension because the Biafrans all over the world are scattered all over the world, and they are close to any government of the federation where they found themselves, and they make the impact of the world to look at that direction of recognizing the need for Biafra sovereignty and recognition. And that is what is going on. And thank God, Canada, you can also know that some of these countries are under American continent and under the influence of course, the 47th president of the United States of America, talking about, Donald Trump, who might have been stretching, his hands on all areas of endeavor to make sure that he gets to the right position where he's going to announce Biafra at the end of the day.
Do you think Donald Trump might pick interest in Nnamdi Kanu case?
He has already picked interest in Nnamdi Kanu case. As I'm talking to you this morning, Perry Scott, a congressman from the United States of America, has disclosed to the U.S. government this morning that Boko Haram, under the watch of Obama and Biden, of course, Buhari, was unleashed on Biafrans in Nigeria, and therefore it was funded to the extent that it cost the lives of millions of course, thousands of Biafrans all over the world. And these things were being pronounced in presence of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. And I can tell you, now Susie Williams and the rest of them are working closely to make sure that the president get to a particular position and time and period where he will take excessive and decisive decisions about Biafra. And that is what is bringing a heavy burden internationally now on Nigeria.
Mr. Chinedu, now that you mentioned Donald Trump, do you still believe in Donald Trump government that they will stick to the actualization of Biafra, or Biafra should shift their tent to Putin, the Russian
There's no how we continue to seek for solidarity with the government of United States of America under Donald Trump. We continue to push for it. You understand? Donald Trump is actually unpredictable. You understand? Given the way and manner he does his things, and you can't be surprised that if I wake up on one day and before he knows it, he has announced that Biafra should be given recognition by allied forces loyal to American country as a nation.
The likes of Burkina Faso, Mali, and the rest of the African countries, they build their tents with Russia, and you can see the massive development and action that is taking place in those countries. Those two things, it's high time that Biafra should shift their tents and ally with the likes of Putin, the Russian president, instead of Donald Trump. Because it seems like waiting for Donald Trump might take a longer period of time. But when you shift your tents to Putin, Putin is an action man. He will take action, decisive action immediately.
The fact still remains that at this point in time, Putin does not have the required influence to keep Biafra alive and protect the sovereignty of Biafra, given the amount and the number of loyal allies Russia enjoy. Russia is still being seen as an American ally. You know, so and if you look at the United Nations position from the angle of victor power, America still exercise that influence. So America is a nation that will look at how we continue to push for a solidarity for Biafra, and that's my take on that.
All right, Mr. Chinedu, it's a very fine place to live it. Thank you for speaking this wonderful platform today.